Right, very good afternoon to everyone on frequency today. We wish to welcome all the viewers. This is the first time I'm trying to stream onto YouTube, and the link has been put into the DATV QO-100 DATV WhatsApp link. So if there's somebody else that could maybe copy it and put it onto the other sites, I'd appreciate that. I hope the link's going to be okay. I hope the YouTube streaming will be all right. We did try it this morning. Want to also thank Ed for his help in trying to get this going, and of course also Roberto, who gave me a tip this morning, which I think might have made the quality slightly better. Anyway, as usual, we just wish to thank the Qatar Satellite Company for allowing us space on their wonderful satellite, and without their help this would never have been able to be done. Of course, the BATC, a very nice organization where you can learn a lot about amateur radio, especially about DATV or all forms of television. That's their web link. You can go and look them up and become a member. It's not too expensive, and it's certainly well worth it. Learned so much from reading their different wikis. What do they call it? Wiki, not Wikipedia, but wiki of some sorts, but it works very well. And then, of course, AMSAT DL, also a great help. If it wasn't for them, we would definitely not have had the use of the satellite. So we wish to thank them very much for their assistance. Excuse the voice today, it's a bit raspy. I got a bit of a chill thanks to sitting too close to an air conditioner. Right, today we have not as good a program as normal, but we have Leon, ZS1 Mike on. He worked on a very interesting antenna. He's going to show us more about that probably next week, but perhaps we can persuade him just to give us a wet or an appetizer. And then Bert, as Papa Alpha 3 Alpha Oscar Delta, will be discussing amplifiers. Look forward to seeing another construction by Bert. Martin G4FKK, saw you testing earlier. Nice signal as usual, and welcome. No specific topic today. And then we have Ed, Papa Yankee 2 Radio November. Hello Ed again. Nice talking with you earlier on WhatsApp. Anyway, we'll bring you in, and thereafter it's Mike, Golf Zero, Mike Juliet Whiskey, who is going to do some dissecting of a dolphin. I don't think it's a dolphin that we are thinking of, but anyway. And Tom, ZR6 Tango Golf, and Frank, ZS6 Golf Echo. Those are the guys that I have so far. Just want to go and have a look on the other site. Nobody else. I also wish to thanks for that report there, Mike. Also want to thank Olaf, Papa Echo 1 Papa Mike Delta. He's also streaming on the BATC site. And who else is there? Nobody else. Olaf is the only one that I saw there. Right. With that, I've now got to figure out what I've got to do, because I must forget about the receiver, and I shall be handing the video and microphone over to Leon, ZS1 Mike from ZS6 Yankee India.
Okay, it actually works. ZS6 Yankee India in the group, ZS1 Mike returning. Okay, hello everybody, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And yes, as I said last week, I won't have a space presentation today. Just too many things. We did a bit of a camera test earlier this morning, Gary and I was actually surprised that it made such a big difference. In theory it should not have, but it does. you're now looking at me with my normal video camera, the Canon. And I'll quickly switch over to my Sony camera, which is a large format camera with a very big sensor, full frame sensor, and also a very good lens, a Zeiss lens on it. So that's what the picture looks like from the Sony camera, which is a normal still camera actually. I'm just using the video output. It's not a true video camera, but there's nothing wrong with its video output. You can see that it's a totally different setup. The books behind me are completely out of focus, whereas with the Canon, which is a video camera and a totally different lens setup, the books are also sharp because of the length of the lens and all sorts of things, and the chip size and so on. But yeah, otherwise nothing new today. I did get a bit of information, some very short video footage and so on, of our auto tracking, one of the auto tracking antenna feeds at the salt mine, or you don't know the term, at the workplace. And I will at a later stage try and explain what true auto tracking is as far as microwave antennas are concerned. Not pointing or slaving or step tracking, but full auto tracking at high dynamics. I mean, you can track a Mach 2 missile very easily. That thing runs at 35 degrees per second, and the acceleration is also in that area.
Who was precisely for the radio amateur, and this is the first time in history that you will receive us free, and we will.
Sorry. Sorry guys. It took a while. I've got to start my script and wrote it. And now my mouse is gone. That's over here. Switch off the audio. Okay. I thought, hey, nothing working. Why not? I tested it before and it works. Okay. Wherever you are, somewhere on this globe. Yeah, it's the weather over here is perfect. High around 7 degrees centigrade, but oh, nice weather. You can see it maybe all. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, my 70 centimeter amps is nearly finished. A few small things to go. That's one of the things to go is the input relay has to be put. Man, that's a lot of sun. Let's see if we can change that a little bit. The input relay has to be placed. Yeah, that's much better. And then always finished, and the amplifier. And The second weekend of March there is an ATV contest, and yeah, then I hope we can use then the amplifier. Eh? So it's now time to start with the new project. Last week I started with the 2-meter amplifier, and let's see if we can put the camera on it a little bit. It's a shaky cam, so some people call. That's this. No, let's see. I hope this goes a little bit. Too much sun. Eh? Anyway, this is the new amplifier. Maybe a little bit this way. Out of the sun, anyway. The two devices are from NXP. Eh? The MRF 300AN and the BN. They're identically. Just the connections are on the other legs, eh? So we can the gate, the source, and the drain are all opposite from each other. Eh? The same two transistors or power FETs I want to use also for the thing what will become after this, well, for the shortwave bands, eh? For 50 megahertz, and also for 10 and 15 and so on. That will also be in the same transistors, power FETs. That was somewhere, I thought it was in 2014, there was a competition from NXP about who can make the best design with these power FETs. And I believe it was some guy in the UK who won the competition. Eh? He's made an amplifier that's approximately, I think they got around 600 watts. Eh? With this one I got, I hope, around 500 watts in CW. But yeah, so there will be yeah 100, 125 watts then for DATV. Eh? And yeah, it has to be put in the new cabinet. Eh? The power supply, that's this one. This is a 70 centimeters amplifier. And yeah, this is then the new box, 19-inch rack. That will then be used for the 2-meter amplifier. But there is a lot of work to go. Filters, electronics for switching, sequencers, and all that stuff more. Eh? So that's a lot of work. But next ATV of DATV contest on the 2-meter and on 50 megahertz, 6 meter. That is somewhere. Yeah, I thought it was the third or the second weekend of April. Eh? So. There's for me, let's say, in 4 or 5 weeks to go to prepare this amplifier, to set up the 2-meter thing. Okay, that's it from this side. No other work done this week. A lot of other things, but there's nothing to do with this hobby. Eh? Okay, let's see who gets the mic, the system. Martin, G4FKK, the group from PH3 AOD.
Yep, fine, Bert. PA3 AOD and the net. G4FKK returning. And very good afternoon, evening, morning, twilight to anyone who's watching this afternoon. It being afternoon here. And yeah, very interesting already so far, the net. And I was just checking the stream, Gary. Excuse me. It's looking good, so I think you've cracked it. And just a quick question: I wonder if you've heard from Saro lately, Gary. I've not seen Saro on the satellite for a while, and I know he'd injured himself. So if you're watching, Saro, get well soon, and we all miss you on the net. So come on as soon as you can. And yeah, very interesting on the camera test there, Leon. I was doing a similar thing myself earlier. I've got what I'm using as my shaky cam, as Bert named it. Is this? This is a Canon. It's quite an old. It was very cheap on eBay, but it's nominally high definition. Let's have a quick look at the off-air signal. but it looks quite fuzzy to me. And this one is the Polycom, which is high definition as well. But the only difference is this thing's got an enormous lens on it. Let's get the ruler. Yeah, that's 50 millimeter lens. So what's that? 2 inches or so. That's the only difference I can see. The Canon camera's got a much smaller lens. But anyway, it looks great, Leon. Absolutely superb. I hope you haven't had any rude comments from Gary about how much older you look with it, like I did when I put this Polycom on. He said, "That's great, Martin. It's put 10 years on you." Very good. But yeah, and I think the depth of field's good as well, because it just has you in it, and the background's a bit unfocused, which I think works quite well when you're doing a headshot, as it were. And I wonder, Leon, how you're finding being back at work. I'm not sure how long you'd not been working, but I wonder if it's been a bit of a pain going back to work, or whether you're thoroughly enjoying it. I did get offered another contract at my previous employer, the BBC, but I turned them down because it wasn't very exciting. But glad you've got the nice weather. Yes, it's very pleasant weather here as well. Have I got my IP camera going? And if I have, oh yeah, there we go. So that's outside our house. So you can see the sun beating down. It's still only about 7 degrees. I think it must have identical weather to you, Bert. So well, there you go. The 2 meter amp looks very good. I remember that NXP competition. I didn't enter it, but looks like you've got the palette done anyway. So lots of work to do, as you say. I've had a bit of work on the bench this week, but it's all been mechanical and clockwork, and I think you've all had enough of my clocks and watches lately. Other than, I have to show you this one. This is a, if I can get it off my wrist, this is a lovely old, will it focus? Focus. Old Omega. Solid gold case and strap, or bracelet. So it works really well, actually, but it hasn't been serviced, as far as I can tell, for about 25 years. So that might go on the bench as well. Anyway, that's enough about clocks and watches. Let's see whether Ed's got a nice cartoon for us this week. No pressure, Ed, but we always like to see your humorous cartoon. So around to you, Papa Yankee 2, Radio November, Golf 4 Fox Kilo Kilo, and the QO-100 Worldwide Net.
Hi everybody, this is Ed, Papa Yankee 2 Radio November. Glad to be here with you all again here. I'm sorry Mike, no funny cartoon this week. Just our best wishes that crisis finishes as soon as possible. Yeah, great to see you all. Gary, your streaming is doing great. Just
صناعي سات 2. وأشكر يعني
that I believe it's upper in a different position. It was perfect focus on your face, but the books were not on the focus. But even though your face was completely okay, very focused, but the first one I could see you and the behind of you. Martin, look what I found here. I just remember that I have these. I think this is. You're gonna not be able to read what is there, but I think this is from my grandparent. There is nothing on behind, and it still works. What is the name of it? Universal Geneve. Yep, it still works. It still works, man. It's incredible. Those machines. It's again. Yeah, I save it with a lot of love. Yeah, my grandparent from my father. Bert, I also playing with some NXP ships here. Let me see if I can switch the camera. Right. Yeah, those are the behind the scenes here. This is my workbench, the mass bench. And this is the pallet that I assembled, and I'm playing with from HF up to 50 megahertz. I tested it on all the bands and it gives me about 1.2 kilowatts, and those are the TR relays that I assembled. Obviously, I'm still missing it's working with 54 volts. 54 volts at the moment, although this NXP goes up to 65 volts. And I like it very much. The excitation is about 2 to 3 watts, and I use this guy to excite. It gives me max 5 watts, Hermes Light. Unfortunately, Hermes Light doesn't have 50 megahertz, so I use